Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Æther-Tech Wars. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM for this Pathfinder 2e campaign. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Brie, Delioth, Dyto, and John. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
They're great at that, aren't they? Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with a word from our sponsor for this campaign, XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or putting a picture as a background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use a coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show descriptions. This week, we are back with another episode of Magi Knight's Awakening, our Dreams of Infinity campaign. Our heroes are currently locked between a lot of different threads, and they're not sure which way to go, which is always a good thing for magical heroes to be doing, not knowing what to do. But we'll find out what they're up to this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, right here on Random Rhapsody. After that, we have another episode of our Tyranny of Dragons campaign. That's another Loroupa Tales that is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we're doing here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter is @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky is Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok is Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's going to do it for our announcements. So join us as we return to the broken world of Loroupa and journey with a group of Pathfinders who have unwittingly found themselves embroiled in the Æther-Tech Wars. And we're back. You should know by now how we do our recaps. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which is good for a free reroll or a hero point during this session. If I do the recap, I get the coin, and I can use it in 1,000 different ways to hinder our heroes throughout their adventure. So I doubt anyone really wants me to have that. But I'm always open for it. So, anyway, does anybody want to do the recap this week?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, in that case, Maiko, tell us what happened last time on the Æther-Tech Wars.
So last time, we started with Maiko and Draven waking up in the conclave, probably pretty well refreshed, while the rest of the group was maybe a little less refreshed as they didn't make it back in time and end up sleeping on the porch of the Æther-Tech conclave. We all got ready afterwards, headed up to the castle for our tour. I was snuck in the castle with inside of Draven's backpack in fox form. It's always good to have a hidden eye on place. The rest of the group was blindfolded before being led underground or to the underground research facilities. From the backpack, Maiko definitely kept a lookout, kind of crudely drew a map of the route as they were, going through, as best as she could do with tiny little fox paws inside of a backpack. Uh, Once we all arrived at the location, blindfolds were removed, and we were all shown where the magical staves and rods were made. As the tour was going on, Mako got distracted, as she does, by another staff member that was carrying one of those tubes we found back in Woodpine, that was in the construct. Not wanting to miss the opportunity to get some extra info, Mako stealthily followed her through a door to a restricted area. Uh, the dice gods were upon us and allowed Mako to be successful in this infiltration, like wildly successful in this infiltration. And she was able to make it unseen to the room where she saw the tube get placed into a device. Now, she saw the staff member getting ready to leave and not wanting to get locked in the room with no way of escaping. Mako did a quick visual scan of the area and then followed out the door to reconvene with the group. And yet again, she was successful in that endeavor, made it back to the group, got back into the backpack, and quickly sketched out a map and a little bit of a drawing of the device she saw, so that way she could show the rest of the group when they got back to their rooms. After that, we were all escorted out of the underground facilities, blindfolded again. They really don't want us to know where things are, but little do they know. We were led to a courtyard for a display of their technological advances in the form of a parade and a mock battle. They had giant battle constructs and magical rods that can fire repeatedly, basically turning the average foot soldier into a mage, because that's, bodes very well for everything. Obviously we were all fairly concerned about this. So, we've got to discuss all this when we get back. After all that, we headed back to the conclave to kind of talk amongst ourselves about everything that happened. Mako, in humanoid form, fine-tuned her maps and drawings and shared that with the rest of the group, letting them know what she saw in that room. And then she kind of looks over at Draven's backpack, noticing the tiny little paw prints all over everything in there. So she asked Aeden if there's any way she could maybe sew a backpack to with this false bottom somewhere that she could hide and have a place to to do her thing without messing up Draven's things. So now we have a backpack with a hidden bottom that Mako can hide in, and we can definitely use this in the future for future infiltration, maybe even, smuggling other things
Ooh.
in and out of places. And yeah, so we've got a lot to figure out here before we go back. I believe we have a second tour thing going on. So, but yep, that is what happened last time.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Well, there you go, Mako. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last this session. Well, Pathfinders. After a long day of exploring and seeing this rather complicated workshop there below the castle Strongwaddle, your team made it back to the conclave and talked a little bit about what everybody, including Mako, discovered. You decided not to inform your conclave handler as of now. You decided to more consider the ramifications of what you discovered and complete your assessment the next day, since you do have more places to look over. The next day, you have 3 locations that you are going to be looking over. You're going to be going to the docks to witness their newly designed warships. You are going to the Institute of Higher Learning to see what the mages are up to. And you're heading to one of the barracks to see how the soldiers of Nomengrad live. And so, once your group just kind of sat down and discussed everything there in the barracks of the Conclave, you all made an early night of it. So you're all well rested. Your hit points are brought up once again. You have your spell slots. Everyone's good to go. And you'll awaken early enough to have a simple meal of breakfast here at the Conclave before making your way back to Castle Strongwaddle to meet up with your contact once again. Now, once you arrive at the Castle Strongwaddle, it does not surprise you that the same gnome is standing outside the gates waiting for you all. This is Lieutenant Twist Pockets. He is a gnome. The last time you saw him, he was yelling at the guards at the castle gate, berating them. And as you approach this time, you can see that the little man is walking around those guards who are, standing at attention, chest out, heads up, hands gripping their spears. And he seems to be looking over the two of them, but at least this time you're not hearing the loud yells that you had experienced when you first came here yesterday. So, with that in mind, Pathfinders, what do you do as you approach the keep, or the castle?
I don't know what everybody else is doing. Draven's absolutely going to go up to this man at this point, trying to, I will get him to like me, and be like, "Oh, Lieutenant, it's so good to see you. I told you we were going to be on time today. I know your time is busy and precious, and so is ours, but listen, I am so excited for everything that you have to show me. Your soldiers look very well presented and pristine as usual."
Oh,
really try to lay it on.
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy check.
Malachi's just chugging a cup of coffee.
Oh.
Coffee and a cigarette first thing in the morning? Yeah.
So I'm gonna be
guys, we are so back. You know how we were? We're back to normal. And that is an 11.
With your 11, the lieutenant turns and looks at your group. Oh, wow. I'm surprised to see you all here on time. Are you on time? Let's take a look. And he pulls out a little pocket watch and examines it for a minute. Oh, well, wonders never cease. I'm so surprised. Anyway, glad to see you've all arrived. You're absolutely right. My time is extremely important. And so, let's get to these tours. I'm sure you all enjoyed seeing Castle Strongwaddle in its finest. And now you get to see everything we're doing to make sure that our city and our country as a whole is safe. Follow me. We're heading to the Harbor Ward.
I follow.
I follow. I want to lean over to Maiko, though, and be like, what is it we're supposed to be looking for on these tours? Is she out?
Maiko out, or is she in the bag?
No, Maiko would have been in the bag.
Okay, Maiko's in the bag. Then I lean to Draven, And I say, what are we supposed to be looking for on these tours again? Just seeing what we can see?
Listen, I will definitely answer you, but I think you should ask the others, since I am to entertain the fine lieutenant. And kind of steps forward to be a body block.
All right. Then I fall back to Kikiro and I go, ditto.
So we're here to do research for the conclave.
But we're not looking for anything specific, right?
No wink.
All right.
Bird eyes, so maybe it's just a blink. You can only see one
It's-
side of Kikiro's head, probably.
All right. Malachi just nods, like, knowingly. Sure, yeah,
Just
all
look
right.
just confused as ever.
Yeah, just as ever.
You got Ashley N in chat redeeming a hero point for y'all. So there you go. That brings you up to 4 current floating hero points. And 4 for me. Anyway.
You know, there should be a thing where we could take villain points away. Like pay, 10,000 points and we can take away one of your villain points. Just saying, just throwing that out there.
Oh, yeah. No. Anyway, you follow the lieutenant down south, about south, southwest towards the docks. Draven is up in front, keeping that steady stream of chatter, trying to keep the attention of the lieutenant as much as possible, while Malachi is questioning everybody else. What exactly are we doing right now? Because Malachi isn't quite sure. That sounds about right to me. Anyway, heading down to the harbor ward, you smell the smell of salt water long before you see the sea. The buildings down in this area are lined up extremely tight. There's barely any alleyways between them. Most of them are just wooden ramshackle buildings, all pressed up against the occasional stone building, almost as though at one point this was a much more thriving area, but they've had to, or much more put together area, because Nomengrad has been mostly made of stone up to this point. But down at the harbor, you can see lots and lots of buildings, all just kind of built quickly alongside of the stone buildings that are there, almost tightly packed, trying to keep in as many people as possible. The harbor itself also looks like it's been very quickly constructed. The long piers are made of wood instead of stone, which is surprising to see in a clearly dwarven-built city like this. You see that there are a lot of ships in the harbor. Some of them seem to be small little fishing boats, but beyond them, as you continue to walk down the streets towards the harbor itself, more and more ships come into view. Much larger vessels. Some frigate-sized, something that can hold maybe about 20-25 people, but some much bigger than even that. Galleon-sized ships. And these are extremely interesting to see, because most of them are made of some wood, but reinforced with metal plates in many places. Towards the bow of the ship, along the sides of the ship, you can also see quite a few individuals working these ships, all moving about, hoisting or just doing general maintenance around the ships themselves. There's a lot of workers down here. The lieutenant stops once you reach one particular area of the pier, and he says, "Now take a good look. all of the ships you can see beyond here, these are our military vessels. We have a fleet of 25 here docked in the harbor ward, and we have many more being built out in the mainland. We're planning on expanding our military fleet quite significantly to protect our borders. Now, since like we did the last time, I'm going to just have you all do a series of rolls instead of, just role-playing out each individual ship and things like that.
Thank you. That's a lot, so appreciate
Yes.
that.
Apparently my mic is popping a little bit. I'll go ahead and turn it down. So what I'm going to need is a few different rolls. I'm going to need somebody to make a perception roll. I'm going to need somebody to do a, let's see, we're going to need a society roll. We're going to need, let me look here. I'll need an engineering roll. Let's see. So perception, society. I'm going to need a engineering check. I'll need an arcana check. And I'm going to need a diplomacy check. So 5 checks from everybody. 1 check from each person.
Okay, so my best are perception, or I have a +5 in engineering if nobody has better than that.
I will do the diplomacy because I've got a +7, and hopefully it will be better than an 11, 12, or 13.
I'm going to do Arcana.
I'm kind of thinking I should do the perception, because I don't even have engineering at all. So, and I
feel like
that's a lore skill.
I feel like I might be the only one with the engineering, so I might have to do that.
Yeah.
I also have engineering at, I think, the same +5.
Oh, nice. So what do you have your perception?
Perception's
Or I
11.
guess- Ooh, +11?
Yeah, I think my perception's the best of the party, but
Yeah, then
Yeah,
Kikiro's
damn.
got the best one. I got a +9. What was the other one? We got society, diplomacy.
Society, diplomacy, arcana, engineering,
Perception.
and perception.
So diplomacy's been taken, arcana's been taken. So we still need
do
society.
any of us have society?
I do, but my
I have-
best is Arcana.
I can do society. I got +6 to society.
Okay,
so
yeah,
yeah.
you do.
So I have
You
0
do society.
Yeah, because
I
I've
have
got +8 perception or +6 society, but we have a +11 perception.
Yeah, let Kikiro do the
Mhm.
perception. I think that's good. All right, I'm rolling engineering.
Good luck, everyone. Let's go.
I believe in us.
Make your rolls.
Damn.
Oh, there's
My
so
luck
many
is
dice.
It's not terrible rolls.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 14. It's
Yeah, they're not
Middle.
bad except for mine. I could use a hero point. What, we got 4 of them?
You got 4 of them.
go for it.
You know
I
what?
mean, I
Fuck
vote-
it. Yeah,
I vote
get
yay.
that information.
All right, let's try. Nice.
Yeah,
Nat
there you
20.
Let's go.
Okay, if that's not a good use of a hero point, I don't know what is.
Yes.
It's true.
Mhm.
It's dropping your hero points down to 3, but yeah, a nat 20. Gotta love that. Okay. So let's see. Aeden did an Arcana check. You got a 19. Draven, you did a Diplomacy check. You also got a 19. Maiko, you did the Society check. You got a 14. Kikiro, you got a Perception check with a 15. And Malachi with that Engineering nat 20 for 25. Well done, everybody. Pretty damn good.
I will have this lieutenant I'm gonna make him my best friend before this is over.
Ashley's asking when I use villain points. I can use them in a couple different ways. For the most part, I use them if I want a monster to re-roll an attack or a saving throw, things like that. I have a few other uses for them, but we'll get into that another time. Anyway, Yeah, you all rolled pretty well. Maiko, unfortunately, with that society roll, like, you're in the backpack. You're having to poke your head out of the little hidey hole to watch things or keep your eye near your little watch hole. But for the most part, since you're on Draven's back and Draven's over there talking to the lieutenant and keeping his attention and the conversation really going as far as that. You don't really see a whole lot. You see your friends moving about, looking at different things. You see a little bit of the area around you, but unfortunately, you don't pick up as much as you could have down here. Kikiro, with your 15, here's a couple things that you notice. Number one, you notice that a lot of the sailors that are down here on the docks seem to be... Well, people just added a bunch of shit here. What's this advantage for here?
Just for Brie. I'm so happy they're back. I missed them. It's been a long time.
Wow. So sweet. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, you got a floating advantage right now.
I'll remember it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anyway, yeah, Kikiro, with that 15, the first thing you notice is that most of the sailors down here seem to be wearing military uniforms. Like, think like, not like Mikhail's Navy type uniforms, more like the crisp, clean uniforms you'd see in the Hunt for Red October. Like, everyone's polished, everyone's got their medals on or implements of rank. You also notice that all of them, every single person working down here, have some type of weapon on their hip or on their side. Every single sailor that's down here working, even the ones that are like welding bits of metal onto the side of the ships, which definitely seems to be armoring them. All of them are armed. Let's see here. Draven, with your 19 diplomacy check, you are keeping that lieutenant talking. And he's talking up a lot of stuff. Like, he drops some interesting information. There is a shipping yard about 30 miles down the coast to the northwest of the city. It's a very recent town that has sprung up. It's more like it's more like tents and impromptu buildings than anything else, but their main purpose is a military outpost for shipbuilding.
Okay.
The area around there is currently being deforested, and they are very, very focused on building many ships. The lieutenant let slip during this time that the Queen has commissioned more than 24 more galleon-sized ships, which seems like a lot to all of you.
It's a lot. Jeez.
Yeah, just for fortification of a city, that seems like a lot.
Absolutely. I hope Maiko's paws are working as fast as they possibly can to keep note of everything.
Oh yeah, Maiko would definitely be in there, scribbling with her little nail, dipping it in the ink, and
She's
That's
my
funny.
little secretary.
I was gonna say you should be dipping your nail, like scratching on the paper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That her nails are her quill pens.
Maiko, you got the highest with 25. Here's what you're noticing.
Or Malachi.
Malachi, sorry, yeah. Malachi.
I mean, I can take the credit too.
I think I need to make a rule in all of my campaigns that everyone has to choose a different first letter for your name.
Hey now.
Fair.
Anyway.
I don't know what you mean. That's okay. The same thing is happening in Tyranny of Dragons too.
I know.
Malachi's had his coffee. You know, he had a whole day yesterday of just being like brain dead, not paying attention to anything. So now he's hyper aware.
Yeah. So here's what you get for being hyper aware. The ships at the harbor are very advanced. While you do see the standard things you'd see on a ship, like sails and stuff like that, there also seems to be more technology built onto these vessels. You're not able to actually get on any of the ships. This is just a tour of the docks itself to show you all what their navy has. But as you're walking down the docks and you're kind of looking between them, you're noticing a lot of strange tech added to these vessels. Pipes on the sides, things that look like paddle, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, on a river where they have like a wheel that's a water wheel that spins. You're seeing stuff like that on the sides of some of the larger vessels, which is definitely unique. You're seeing what looks like weaponry on some of the tops of these ships, which are things you've never seen before. Long metal tubes that seem to be, they're like almost in the way like you and Falderall's weapons are metal tubes that propel a metal slug with a propellant. These seem like much larger, more complicated versions of that. Very, very large single tubes. But on top of it, you can see in the distance like tubes and wires and things coming off of that, and what appear to be crystals attached to them, large formed crystals. Maiko, or not Maiko, sorry, Aeden. God.
Okay.
That one was unrelated.
Now, yeah.
You know what? Aiden doesn't even start with an M.
I know.
Listen.
That's what I was going to say. That's not even the same first letter. They're not even close to each other in the alphabet.
Leave me alone.
It's fine. It's been a while. Matt, you're doing wonderfully. Take your time.
All right, a little kiss ass over here.
Absolutely.
Hey, I think there's a little brown thing on your nose right about there.
Wow.
Trying to get some hero points.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Go ahead and take a hero point. No,
What the hell?
Anyway, I'm going to come back to you, Malachi, because I got some more to tell you. But I'm going to go along with that because as you're noticing that, Aeden, with your 19, you'd be noticing this sort of thing as well, and you begin reaching out with your senses, trying to understand the nature of what you're seeing. The weaponry that Malachi points out to you definitely has some magic in nature to them. You get the lieutenant to walk you by one of these ships, and you cast detect magic, just kind of down low to yourself as you're walking by, and you can definitely detect that these are magical items, magical weapons. Those gigantic tubes, we're going to call them cannons now, are magical in nature.
I'll keep that in my back pocket until we can talk about it.
Chick cannons.
You can definitely see, you're seeing the same thing that Kikiro noticed about all the sailors that are walking around the docks. Their weaponry is magically enhanced as well. Some of them have those magical rods or staves. Others have swords and daggers and scimitars, rapiers, or things of that nature. But you're definitely noticing a lot of runes inscribed on them.
Does it look like they're like trying to keep the magic part of it hidden? Like they're trying to make it look mundane, but it's not? Or
Yeah,
are they?
I would say with your 19, yes. It does seem like they're keeping it more on the DL. Like, you have to walk by and you look really closely to notice that they are inscribed with a rune, the weapons. The rods, they kind of keep tucked into their belts or in their pants. Easy to grab, but if you're not like, if you don't know what you're looking for, your eye would just kind of go past it because it's just like a simple looking rod or tube. It doesn't really have a whole lot of magical inscription on it to let somebody know that it's an actual weapon. But you've seen them before. You saw them being built underneath the castle, so you know what they are. And since you know what you're looking for, you're definitely noticing these a lot more because of that fact. Now, as the tour is becoming complete, and you're getting towards the end of it, Kikiro, you notice that another ship is coming into the harbor. You point this out to everybody, and the lieutenant looks over and says, one of our scouting vessels is returning. Good. We have many scout vessels out there. We have to make sure that our area, our landmass is protected at all times. So we have many scout vessels out. He kind of tells you this almost like dismissively, but something's familiar about it. You're watching the ship as it's coming closer and closer towards the harbor. And Malachi, since you rolled a nat 20, I'm just giving this to you guys.
Yay.
You recognize this ship. You've seen it at a distance.
Who is it?
We know who it is.
Oh, it's that freaking the gnome who escaped from us?
Get him!
What was his name? Ooh.
Oh,
Gnome
fuck.
McKnomersons?
Where are my notes? God damn it.
That's why I use a single note file.
Zormunder.
That sounds
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Zormunder. wasn't
Yes.
Zormunder.
Yes.
I'm like, I just elbow whoever's next to me.
Yep, those dark gray sails, that flag on the mast, the narrow design of the vessel. It definitely looks like the vessel that you all saw Zormunder escape on.
Oh, that's really fascinating. That's one of your scouting vessels. I guess we probably won't get the chance to go on any of these ships, you know, like.
Oh, no, absolutely not. The Queen has not authorized anyone to step foot on our vessels. The fact that we're even allowing you to see our naval might is pretty significant.
Yes, and we're very appreciative. How much longer do you think we got in this tour?
Well, we're
Of the
finishing up
warfare?
We're finishing up now, actually. I was planning on taking you from here to the Institute for Higher Learning.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting to me.
And I do appreciate everything you're doing, Lieutenant Twistpockets, but my goodness, I have never seen such a sight of pure. Your army is just. It's so astounding. I think we would all benefit from seeing how a ship should properly be run and a crew should be maintained. Would you at least please allow us an opportunity to step upon your ships and take a better look?
Oh, I'm going to allow you a diplomacy check here. This is going to be a difficult roll, but you never know. Go for it.
Can I be helping?
Can you help? You can
Yeah.
certainly
I
try.
kind of started the conversations.
True.
You did
Even
start
though
the
I was trying to
conversation.
be like, let's wrap this up and get out of here before Zormunder shows up, but sure.
Yeah, well, since you're aiding in that, go ahead and roll a diplomacy check first.
Okay.
You
here
got to
it
hit
goes.
a 15. If you hit a 15, that's going to be an
20.
extra +1. And There you go. So, Draven, you have a +1 circumstance bonus to this roll.
22.
Nice.
You say you're asking to step onto one of these ships and take a look, and the gnome looks conflicted for a few minutes, and you can see him struggling a little bit, and he says, well, I suppose I could have let you on one of the smaller ones. Can't let you go down inside. The engineering of our vessels are top secret, but maybe a view from the deck of the ship wouldn't be too bad. Sure.
Lieutenant, you do us a huge honor. Your military is so... It's just astounding to see that it would be such an honor to actually witness much closer.
Well,
I'm stroking this man's ego as much as I can.
yeah, you certainly are.
Truly
and-
astounding.
The lieutenant says, "Hold on, just wait here." He walks over to one of a nearby sailor who's carrying a big old pile of rope on his arm and up towards one of the what are they called, the gangplanks towards one of the ships. The man has to bend down a little bit. The two converse.
Can we talk while he's stepped away? Is there anybody else really close to us, or do we have a second?
Yeah, you have a second. Basically what's going to happen is the gnome and the sailor are going to talk for a minute. The sailor goes running off onto the ship, and about 10 minutes later comes back down and talks to the gnome. So you've got about 10 minutes while this is happening. What are you wanting to do?
All right. I want to look at everybody and let them know that is definitely Zormunder's ship that's coming in. And I'm like...
What do we do then? Should we get it,
Well,
or what?
If he sees us, don't you think he's gonna say, "Hey, those are the guys that killed a bunch
Oh,
of
of course he is. But should we strike first, or do the stealthy thing, or what?
I think it would be great if we could find a way to track him or keep eyes on him, because that was part of the goal, right? Was catch this guy. But
That's true.
is he still
make
within
sure
our
it's-
jurisdiction to arrest him?
Regardless, if you're wanting eyes, my backpack could accidentally take us stray away.
Ooh, try to get it on his ship. How far away is his ship? Is it going to dock in the... we're stalling now, looking at this ship.
Yeah,
Is it going to dock in that time?
It's out in the harbor still. Usually it takes anywhere up from 30 minutes to an hour for a ship to slowly sail into a harbor and dock. So you've probably got some time. I'd say
So
it's at least 30, 40 minutes before it actually docks here at the dock.
All right, so if we stall long enough looking at this ship, then we might be able... his ship might be docked, and then we can try to sneak a backpack on there.
Well, we don't have to sneak the backpack. We just have to sneak said contents of the backpack onto
Indeed.
it. We could
I
just
hope
let the contents of the backpack out now, and they could sneak away before.
Are the contents of the backpack listening right now?
God, I hope so. If not, I'm going to shake my backpack as hard as I can.
We hear soft little snores. No, I'm joking. No. The backpack is always listening and always watching. So,
All right.
The backpack is now sentient.
I'm sorry. The contents of the backpack. I forgot. I'm not the backpack.
A little fox nose peeks out of the watch hole and sniffs around.
All right.
Guys, just wait till I get to level 5. This will be so much easier when I'm in box form.
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
a little piece of paper comes out with little scribbles on it. Yes, I am down with this.
Okay.
But I'm a little concerned about the contents of the backpack being on their own.
We have nothing. Listen, I agree. We need to have faith in the contents of my backpack. The contents of my backpack have proven themselves to be very quick and dexterous. So, Maiko, I'm gonna drop this. Are you okay? Can we do this?
Again, little piece of paper comes out. Should we do rolls to see if they can even read what I'm writing?
God, probably.
Hope we can read what you're writing. I do have my hat of disguise, but I just don't know how I would ever get away, without them being like, "Where'd that guy go?"
Pretend you're sick.
I think I need to get back to the conclave. Walk around a corner, put on my hat, become a gnome.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh. Well, actually, are we looking for a distraction?
Are we?
I don't know, but if
I think we're
are,
more so looking for a diversion.
I can
There's a
see
fine
the-
line.
You can see the sailors coming down the gangplank now and going back up to the lieutenant. Just so you know.
Are there?
or
any of the-
I mean, cats are not usually fond of water, and being on a boat might make Malachi very, very motion sick.
Say, Draven, why don't I carry the backpack?
Hold
we
on.
try this.
I
Go ahead.
agree, but are there any of the orphans or anything around?
Interesting.
Is the orphan or
Perception check. What are Aeden and Kikiro doing during all this? Ashley N wants to know.
Worrying immensely.
listening with grave concern?
25 on perception.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, with that 25, you look about and you do see a small orphan. They're currently sitting in one of the few alleyways that are around here right now. They kind of they're crouched behind a box. They're just sitting there looking, little hands right here on the edge of the box. Definitely look like it's scoping out the area.
Wonderful. I'm gonna go up to them and be like, listen, I am a friend of Shadow. Can you potentially...
So you're just walking directly up to them? Okay.
I think this is... Oh, God. How am I gonna do this? Yeah, Draven is gonna be like... very intentionally look like they're dropping a coin into the bag or whatever for the kid.
Okay.
And then as I go down, I'm gonna say, listen, I'm a friend of Shadow. We need about 5 to 10 minutes of distraction. Please provide what you can, and I will double, essentially, what it is. And I'm gonna give them, I think I have the money, at least 1 gold.
Okay.
Do we need 5 to 10 minutes of distraction right now?
Yes.
He said it was going to be 30 minutes before the boat even docks. 30
Well,
to 40 minutes.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about getting Maiko into a good position to
sneak up.
hide while
Okay.
we continue.
Okay.
Okay. What I would like for you to do is give me a society check, Draven.
Okay.
You have a +1 circumstance bonus on this for dropping the coin.
Okay. It's gonna give me a +1. Let's see how we go. Jesus Christ. Okay. Can I use my just hero point that you just gave me?
I was joking
Your
about
ass-kissing
that, but-
hero point? You
The
can never
ass-kissing-
joke about that.
You know what? Sure, why not? Use your ass-kissing hero point.
Hell yeah, let's go. 19.
That's
Hey,
much
there you
better.
go. And Dim Grey Wolf just redeemed the hero point to bring your total up to 4.
Yay. can't
Yeah,
believe it.
so with the 19, the child looks up at you, and in that moment, like, their eyes lock on you, and you realize that that's not actually a child at all. That's actually a halfling made to look like a child.
It's not a Borfin.
Their eyes are there's a lot more crow's feet around the eyes, and their eyes narrow as they snatch up the coin, and then they put their finger next to their nose and say, "You'll have one in 10."
Do what you can. And then I'll move back to the group. All right, anyways. How is everyone feeling?
So should I pretend to be sick on the boat or not?
Don't you dare. I got this covered.
All right.
Okay. Well, a few minutes later, the lieutenant comes back over to your group. He says, "Okay, I've made arrangements. The captain has given her permission. You can all come up onto the deck and observe the docks from that higher position. So the rules are this: you must stay together as a group, and you must not touch anything."
I grabbed Malachi's hand. Got it.
Yeah, you see Malachi making a face like, whoa.
Yeah, nobody sees that Aeden is just standing there with this
Listen,
mischievous
I do that.
smile.
Listen, I do that with the intention that Aeden is mischievous. I am pulling so much focus.
Okay.
Listen, Draven, I ain't gonna let you down again. I wink.
The lieutenant gives you all a nod and leads you all up the gangplank onto the deck of the ship. This is an elevation of about 15 feet taller than where you are all standing on the dock itself, sea level, and you can see a little bit more of the area around you. From this heightened position, like, you can see that there are, well, on this ship itself, let's go with that first. There are 2 of those large-looking cannons, one on either side of the ship. It seems to be placed on a wooden swivel. The casing that actually holds it in place is made out of wood, and it's attached to, well, basically a board on top of a lazy Susan, for want of a better term. You can see that there is one of the sailors who's kind of polishing one of the cannons right now, and he pushes it a little bit and it turns, cleans underneath there, pushes it, turns. Each of these cannons on the front of the ship have about a good 180 degree swivel.
Interesting.
What are you attempting to accomplish? I know you're stepping up onto the dock or onto the deck of the ship, and you're planning on a distraction. But are you just kind of like looking about the docks, or you in the harbor? Are you just trying to examine the ship more closely during this time? Because you got probably about 6 minutes left before your distraction happens.
I mean, I don't know what the others are doing. Draven is absolutely going to be looking for more, basically going to be surveying the area. I think he's taking this position very seriously, despite everything going on. So he's going to be like, what would OSHA, the fantasy equivalent of OSHA, be making note of?
I definitely want a closer look at the weaponry. To see if I can kind of study this design and make sure, obviously, it has nothing to do with any Falderall designs. Like, it's not that got leaked, right? You know, but
Certainly not.
Certainly not. So yeah, I just kind of want to take a close look and just learn what I can learn.
Okay. Kikiro?
Yeah, I think Kikiro's in. roughly the same boat of just watching everything like a hawk, seeing if I can notice anything weird or suspicious.
Okay, like it. Aeden? Can't hear you.
After being told not to be able to touch anything, she's just kind of walking around now, like with her hands like tightly clasped, because it's like, now she was told not to do something, she wants to do it. But is definitely keeping an eye on all of this magic around them that nobody knows is magic, unless you know what you're looking for.
Okay. Draven, Kikiro, give me perception checks. Malachi, you can make a crafting or an engineering check. Aeden, give me an arcana check.
Sounds about right.
Rolled the
Forgot I
freaking
had
2.
advantage.
That is
Because I gotta use it. I'm gonna just roll again for the advantage, even though
Okay.
I already rolled good. But
absolutely.
Yeah, go for it.
that I use it. Okay, it's gonna be 22.
Okay. Let's see. Draven, you rolled an 11. Kikiro, a 27. Nice.
Sense.
Malachi's engineering is a 22.
Mhm.
And Aiden's arcana is a 13.
I'm too distracted trying not to touch the magic.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
Draven's distracted by by them to be like, no, we're professionals. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm getting dangerously close to the cannon, and you're like,
Yeah, you're getting dangerously close to that cannon, but it does allow you to see a little bit more details of it. Good news is it's not it's not Falderall's technology. You would expect to see like loading chambers, propellants, things of that nature that would have to expel something through the cannon. What you notice instead is that the barrel, the inside of it, is heavily reinforced. It seems as though whatever is powering these things what is powering these things is those crystals at the top, or just basically glancing over it. There's these tubes on either side that kind of like nautilus shell around and around and then twist up, and on top of that it almost looks like a blunderbuss, the pipe spread open, and sitting on top of that is an odd looking crystal. It's kind of pale white and blue in color. It's largish. It's almost about the size of a softball, and there's two of them, one on either side of the cannon tube itself.
Pristine.
Definitely not Falderall technology, though.
Does this crystal look stealable?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's not, like it's just sitting there, almost as though it was inserted on top of it. There is the sailor standing next to it cleaning, and as you're getting close to the thing, he turns around and looks at you, and that also gives the lieutenant a moment to notice that you're getting close, and he's like, hey, I need you to come back over here. I said you cannot touch anything on the ship. You also should not get too close to them.
All right. I haven't touched a thing, I say, with my hands in my pockets. Wouldn't dream of it. I will walk back over.
You walk back over to the rest of your group, and you kind of all spend a moment there just looking about, really getting a good eye of the surroundings. Kikiro, with that 27, you notice that all of the sailors on board the ship are looking at your group, like suspiciously. They don't like the idea that strangers are on their vessel. And everyone seems to have, even those that are doing work, like scrubbing the deck, there are people manning the lines, and there's these people on top of the mast working on the upper beam of it, and even then, they all seem to be staring at your group. With your 27, you notice that in total there are let's see, there are 8 of those galleon-sized ships nearby, just right here. Another 7 of them are scouting vessels, similar to the ones that is currently coming into the harbor, which you can see is getting closer and closer now that you're actually looking out into sea. You estimate it has probably about 20 minutes or so before it arrives at the dock. It's kind of lined up towards an open pier that's about 2 piers down from where you're currently standing. It's not too far away, but it's an open location, and judging based on the angle of the ship, it's heading to that dock. If you have any questions with that 27, I'll answer a couple for you.
I guess, how many people do we think are the crew for each size of ship? Like, how many roughly people per galleon or scouting vessel?
You stand there for about 5 minutes, and you're just kind of, your eyes are twitching back between the different vessels. It's hard to tell because there are a lot of people moving about. Some are going down into the belly of the ship, some are coming out again. You're estimating that on the scouting vessels themselves, probably around 25 to 35, the galleon 50 to 60. Any other questions before we get to the distraction?
Nope.
I have any.
Okay.
None for me.
Draven, you're the one who set this up, and so you would be able to hear this. Well, everyone would hear this. Down on the street level of the docks itself, you would hear a loud scream and then a crash. You all go running to the side of the ship, looking around, and you see that there is currently a scuffle going on the docks itself. There is a gigantic fight that has just begun in between 2 of the ships. They're all soldiers. They're all not soldiers, sailors. They're all wearing the same uniform. It looks as though 2 of the crew have suddenly got into a gigantic free-for-all brawl down on the docks. You can see about 12 or more people currently engaged in fist fighting, and more sailors from 2 of the vessels are running down their gangplanks towards the fight. You're not sure exactly what happened, but it is a huge commotion, and all of the sailors that are on the ship you're on kind of come running over to the sides to see what's going on as well. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, Lieutenant, is this how everything is run around here? I can't believe it.
What the heck? Hey!
Well,
You all
he's still
stop that right away!
This is when I give my backpack to Malachi to let them sneak away to do whatever they need to do.
All right. So, all right, you give me the backpack. I put the backpack on. I want to take a big swig from my water skin.
Oh no.
And then like, you know how they're all like leaning over the edge of the ship? I want to like run over to the edge of the ship like I'm also going to look, but then I will spit out all the water like I'm throwing up over the edge to pretend like I've just gotten really seasick.
Okay, give me a performance check.
All right. Well, performance and deception are the same.
Oh yeah,
but
and deception, either or.
Yeah, they're both +8, so. Come on, deception. That's a 14. It's
bad. That's not bad.
It's mid.
Yeah, it's mid. You go running over to the side and you just spray this water out as pretending that you're going to hurl. The lieutenant is now yelling over the side, "Hey, you all stop that right away! What the heck do you think we're doing? You're interrupting a tour over here!" You make this big show of throwing up. Several of the sailors kind of step back away from you like, "Oh, what the heck?"
I've got hydrophobia.
Oh, they're a cat. They can't help it.
Well,
just give them space. We'll send them to the conclave.
I could just go back. It's like the fear is really getting to me.
You get some rest. We'll be fine.
They're kind of looking at you dubiously, but the distraction on the dock is much more interesting.
So yeah, I'll hobble away before anybody takes a chance. I'm like, "Oh, I know the way," and just kind of start hobbling off the ship, holding my belly.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You kind of have to fight a little bit to get down the gangplank because several sailors have run down there as well. A big crowd is starting to form around the fight on the docks. Like people are standing there watching. You can see some betting going on. You've got Draven's backpack over your shoulder. You're hunched over. You're holding your belly as you're making your way down. What's the plan from there?
So my plan is to just get like behind something, just some place where I am not being observed, and use the hat of disguise to look like one of these gnomish like sailors, like the outfit and everything.
Now, I will point out there are other races besides gnomes down here.
Okay. Whatever's the tallest race, since disguise self will not hide, I can appear shorter, but if somebody touched me, they would know.
But you're more looking for somebody who's of your same size and shape. And honestly, getting the uniform is a bit more important.
Exactly.
Does the hat of disguise change your clothes as well, or is it just you?
I'm pretty sure it changes your clothes, but let's look up disguise self. Because that's all it does. It casts disguise self. Yeah, you make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends or until you use your action to dismiss it.
Nice.
And it can last up to 1 hour. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller, appear thin, fat in between, blah, blah, blah. The extent of the illusion is up to you. Okay.
So, there are like a lot of different humanoids out here. There's humans, there's dwarves, there's orc, half orc. You've seen some hobgoblins as well moving about the city. It's up to you how you look physically.
I wanna be a hobgoblin.
Sure, you make yourself look like a red-furred hobgoblin, and the most important part, you change You change your clothes to look more like the sailors' military uniforms. But before that, give me a stealth check. We'll see whether or not you're observed as you go sneaking away.
Please, stealth. 21.
Oh, nice.
I get an armor check penalty. I don't know what that is. Oh well.
Probably wear some type of armor that has a check penalty.
I'm jingling as I walk over.
Your fake gag.
You wear studded leather. Studded leather has a armor check.
Really weird.
Anyway, so you clutch your belly, you make your way down the gangplank and around, navigating away from the fight and the crowd that's forming. The lieutenant is yelling from the top of the ship still, but he's got to stick around with the rest of the group. But his focus is definitely over there. And between the fight that's broken out on the docks and your stealth capabilities, you're easily able to get off the ship and around towards the dock that you're fairly certain Zormunder's ship is going to be landing at. Once there, you duck down behind a stack of wooden barrels. You put your hat of disguise on, and you change yourself to look like a hobgoblin wearing the uniform of the sailors that you've seen.
Then I just want to casually walk along the dock towards where I think Zormunder's ship is going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
If there's like a underneath of the dock, I don't know. I'm trying to determine. I wish I could talk to Maiko.
There honestly isn't. So here's the deal. The city, when it's split in half, the jagged half of that split now makes up the coastline along this town. So the water goes right up to that jagged edge. Then they built a wooden dock out from there to have ships come in. So directly underneath that is just nothing but water.
Okay. Understandable. Yeah, if I seem like I'm kind of unobserved, I want to kind of whisper to the pack. I guess I don't know if Maiko can talk to me in fox form. Do I know that?
You would know because now I cannot talk in.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, cause,
Well,
yeah,
then I'll just tell
you would know
Maiko.
that.
Maiko's
like-
been they've been talking with Pat once for yes, Pat twice for no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically, we kind of have our system, and like
I just say like, well, Maiko, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here now. My plan is just to get on that ship and set this pack down, and you can take it from there.
you hear like a agreeable chitter coming from the back.
Chitters in the affirmative. All right. We'll see how well we can do.
So your plan is to wait down at the dock until the ship arrives and then sneak aboard?
Yeah, basically. So, like, if they're unloading stuff, moving back and forth, I want to try to fall in with that and then just, like, get somewhere where I just set the backpack down,
Okay.
you know?
So
Assuming Draven doesn't have other things in there he wants. Is it just Maiko in there?
no, I think that's, like, Draven's actual backpack?
All right. Well, then maybe I don't set it down, but...
Please don't lose it. That's my journal.
That is the
No,
backpack y'all just made the night before.
But Maiko's got a little secret entrance that she can kind of.
Oh, then I just want to get backed up in a corner. All right, I'll tell Maiko the sign is I'll like pat my shoulder 3 times, and that means jump out.
Okay.
Okay.
So now while that's going on, you all just saw Malachi go stumbling down the gangplank. Obviously, this is part of his plan. So the fight's going on down at the docks. All of the sailors on the ship are all kind of watching this. The lieutenant is yelling over the railing of the ship. The captain has come out now. This is a human-looking woman. She's got raven dark hair and bright red eyes. You can tell she's the captain because she has a big O hat, one of those tricorns with a big O feather coming out of it, and she just walks as somebody with supreme authority. She comes walking out of her cabin and just starts barking orders at the crew. What are you all doing? What the hell is this? No one told you to take a holiday. And there's this whole scene where they have to explain that there's a fight going on. The captain comes over and takes a look as well, at which point betting starts happening there on the deck of the ship. The captain, it seems, starts taking bets as to who's going to win. They seem quite content to watch this. You can see that more soldiers are now beginning to run up towards the fight. You can tell that there are actual city guards. They have the tabard over their chainmail. They have short swords at their hips and spears in their hands, or halberds, one of the two. They all come running up, and they're trying to push their way through the outer ring of the fight. But they're having a difficult time doing that because it's just a bunch of sailors all standing shoulder to shoulder watching another group of sailors beat the fuck out of each other.
Oh, I can't believe
on,
this,
Ref.
Lieutenant. I thought that you had a good handle on things. I will definitely have to, unfortunately, make note of this for the conclave.
You say this to the lieutenant. What are you talking about? I have no
No.
say in this.
No, you say that, but you are the lieutenant.
That's
you
a
are
direct
in the
quote.
military. You said yourself that you ran this thing like a clockwork. I
Yes,
can't
we
believe that.
we run our army like clockwork. This
And
is
yet,
the
is
Navy.
this-
This is of course they're gonna mess up and screw things up like this. At which point the captain hears this, and there is a long argument that ensues.
Yes.
This couldn't be going any better.
Hey, you rolled pretty high, so I'm going with it. Big argument goes on. The three of you get to really enjoy watching this whole thing where the lieutenant and the captain of the ship begin to get into an argument over it, distracting the lieutenant completely from the fight, which gives Malachi plenty of time to just kind of hide there and wait while this ship comes in and docks. It's an interesting process. You kind of watch Malachi as the ship comes in. There aren't any sailors down on the docks to help because they're all watching the damn fight.
Nice.
So
Wait,
the
am I
ship-
going to look out of character if I don't
No,
want
so like well, you're hiding right now.
Yeah.
So you're hidden. You watch as the ship comes in. Some of the sailors from the ship jump down onto the dock, swing down on ropes, and then have to start like throwing ropes up to the ship to get it to be securely fastened to the side. You see a lot of their sailors come running up to the edges of the ship to see what's going on out there. There's another about 10 minutes of chaos, and you can hear in the distance, Malachi, like bells beginning to ring as more and more soldiers come running to the dock to break up this huge fight that's going on. After about 10 minutes or so, Malachi, you see that there is your opportunity. The gangplank is down. A few sailors have come running off of it and are currently trying to secure the ship, but nobody's actively looking at the gangplank. So you have this moment. I'm going to need a stealth check from you.
Right.
So here's the deal. You can either do a stealth check or a deception check to get aboard.
The rolls are actually, wait. Oh, my deception is slightly better. So we're going to do that. 26, baby. I look like I'm supposed to be here.
Nice. Yeah.
This is where I belong.
you just casually, nonchalantly make your way up. You sling your bag over your shoulder as though you're just joining the crew. Nobody really pays you a whole lot of mind. They're all focused either on the fight or, just getting the ship secured so that they can disembark. You climb up the gangplank and get onto the dock of the ship.
Nice. Am I able to get to like the lower deck?
Give me a perception check.
All right. 11.
11. You look about and you do see that there is a set of double doors next to a stairwell leading down. The stairwell seems to go to the lower parts of the ship.
I want to walk over towards the stairwell, but I think that Maiko's stealth is going to be better than mine. So I want to walk up to the stairwell and kind of look around, make sure nobody's looking, and then I will tap my shoulder 3 times.
You go walking over to that stairwell, looking out to see if anybody's there. But with that 11, you do not see that this big old dude is starting to walk their way up the stairs just as you're approaching. You look down at him, and this is a heffaloom. This is an elephant humanoid. They have a long trunk. They have tusks coming out of each side of their mouth. They have gigantic ears that are pulled back and kind of flattened on the back of their head. They have a bandana wrapped around their head in the colors of the ship's flag. They are carrying a gigantic duffel bag, and as they're stepping up, as you're stepping down, their eyes lock on you, and he just says in a very deep voice, "Who are you? I don't recognize you."
Can I recognize if this guy seems like he's of higher rank than my basic uniform?
Not with your 11, no.
Okay. All right, I just say, wait, let me do a different voice for him. "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. There's a whole commotion going on the docks. I saw you guys pull up, and I just felt like, well, nobody was going to come help, so I just wanted to volunteer, I'm kind of new."
Yeah, give me another deception check.
On it, boss. 14.
14. The heffalum looks at you and kind of arches an eyebrow as you're saying this. "There's commotion on the dock, so you thought you would just come in here and help yourself to whatever is on our ship, huh?" He claps a big hand
Not
down
exactly what I said.
on your shoulder. "Oh, I know that's not what you said. Captain! Hey, Captain! You know who this is?" Their hand is still firmly grasping your shoulder right now, Malachi.
Firmly grasp it.
Mhm.
All right, I pretend to shake in my boots.
Okay, you start shaking in your boots. You look up to see another individual stepping towards you. This is a catfolk individual. They're wearing the same sailor's uniform you've seen before, but you can definitely note the higher-ranking pips on their shoulder as they walk towards you. They have a saber on their hip, which their hands are currently on, and the catfolk says to the heffalum, "What have you got here, Marshal?" "I got somebody claiming they wanted to help themselves."
Yeah, I wanted to help you, Captain.
"Help me with what exactly?"
Well, I just started. I hate this voice. and it looks like there's a fight on the docks. So when you pulled up, I thought maybe you had stuff to unload, and I could, earn my pips that way. Just making myself useful. Internally, Malachi is like, "This sucks." Externally, I'm like, well, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. Because I'm going to need another diplomacy check from you.
Deception?
Yeah, deception check.
Okay.
Not diplomacy check, deception check.
Can't roll good forever. Also can't roll bad forever. I went
Nice.
to 21. Because I know exactly how long these people have been gone. Or at least close to how long they've been gone.
Mhm.
So if I say I started sometime in the last 10 days, and I know they've been gone for at least 10 days, it's reasonable they wouldn't know me.
Mhm.
True.
The captain kind of looks you up and down and says, "Well, I appreciate the thought, sailor, but showing initiative is all well and good, but if you don't know the ship that's coming in and you're not a part of the crew, it's inappropriate for you to be stepping on board."
Thank you so much for educating me, Captain. I will make a note of that right now. I get Draven's true. Okay. Don't walk on ships.
Marshall, the Heffalum, kind of spins you around and he says, "The gangplank is that way."
Will do. All right, so I turn, man. So I'm standing on the steps.
Yep.
I'm walking across the dock. Does there come a point when I'm out of their sight, or are they going to watch me the whole way?
They're actually the Heffalum is going to walk you to the gangplank. The captain just stops and is watching from where they stopped at the stairwell.
All right, so the captain doesn't go back down or anything.
The captain does not go back down. They're standing there and they're just observing while the Heffalum walks you towards the gangplank.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's going to be a good time to tell Maiko to get out then. But all right. So I will walk. I don't know what else to do. They're staring right at me. I think they would see a fox coming out of my backpack. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Maiko is obviously kind of keeping an eye out the backpack, but yeah, there. I don't think there's going to be an opportunity unless you can somehow.
You could potentially sneak back on. Like I can drop you off and we get off, but
potentially, maybe if there's like a rope or something, I can kind of climb on and stuff.
Okay. Well, the Heffalum.
Thank you, Marshal sir, for your guidance.
The Heffalum just walks you over to the gangplank and says, "Make sure you find the right place to go next time."
All right, sir. I give him a salute.
He just watches, scowling, as you retreat back down the gangplank and onto the docks. There's a few more sailors that are kind of coming and going at this point, making their way down. From the ship, Draven, Kikiro, and Aeden, you would see that the fight is beginning to get broken up at this point. More soldiers have arrived.
I was going to do stuff before that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of why I'm getting to you now. Go for it.
How big are the crystals that are on these cannons?
About baseball sized, softball sized.
Okay. Cool. While the lieutenant and the captain are distracted, I would like to find a safe way to remove one.
Okay. First off, what I'd like for you to do is give me a stealth check. You're going to get a +1 circumstance bonus because everyone is distracted currently. .27. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Everyone's attention is down on the fight at the bottom of the docks. You are tiny. You're a little fairy person, so no one's really paying much attention to their feet, and you are able to very easily slip off your leash and make your way over towards one of the cannons. You forgot about the leash, didn't you?
No, nope. I didn't forget about the leash, but Aeden is holding her own leash, but it's just funny to know that she could have gotten out at any point.
I'm just imagining it's one of those, quote-unquote, ghost dog leashes that always stays in the same form, so even though Aeden has left, it is staying in that same...
It's like there's an invisible Aeden.
Exactly.
Okay, you make your way over to one of the cannons. It's you're gonna end up having to climb on top of the cannon.
I can fly, so I'm not gonna climb.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna use my fly speed.
You can fly. You can fly now, man. Oh man.
I've been able to fly. I just didn't know I could fly.
Fair
I
enough.
can fly 15 feet.
Okay, yeah. 15 feet is more than enough to levitate upward towards where that crystal is. You kind of get behind it so that your perspective is away from everybody else's. They're all facing away from you. You get behind the cannon. You fly up towards that crystal. It's just kind of sitting there on top of that big open metal tube that kind of looks like a funnel. Give me a thievery check.
Oh, this is not gonna be good. I'm not good at thieving. A 10.
That's not bad.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yes. You
Can I use a hero point?
Please.
Yeah, I vote yeah.
Only if you roll
Okay.
better.
Yeah, that's
21.
That's what
There
I'm
you
talking
go.
about.
That's on brand. There it is.
You fly down. You get towards that crystal and begin lifting it up, and you notice that there are these little latches, kind of holding it in place. You have to kind of wiggle your fingers around there, pry them off. It's almost like this little clamp that's holding it. They're spring loaded. You kind of have to pull down to get it open. There's 3 of them in total you have to do this to, but with your 21, you easily manage to pull the 3 of them down and lift up the crystal. It's pretty big, like it's a softball size, so it's bigger than your head, really, or about the same size of your head. I'm not sure what your proportions are. You're a fairy. Anyway. It's pretty damn big. However, it's very light. You're surprised by how light it is. Like, when you're lifting it up, you thought it was going to be, like, super heavy, and you have to struggle with it. But no, you pick it up quite easily.
Okay, at this point, are the captain and lieutenant still fairly distracted arguing with each other?
Yes.
I would like to try something.
Oh no.
I would like to try and cast Figment to make it look like the crystal is still where it's supposed to be. Because I can create a simple illusory sound or vision.
How long does it last?
And until the duration is sustained. So as long as I sustain it, it'll stay there.
So
So I
forever?
could
You can stain it forever?
I mean,
Or
it's
you're
an...
sleeping.
You'll be fatigued after 10 minutes.
But I could do it for as long as we're on the ship. As long as we're not on the ship for more than 10 minutes.
Got it. Thank you.
That's brilliant.
I like it. So, after doing that, you cast Figment. Is that a cantrip or a leveled spell?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Okay. So you cast your spell, creating this illusionary version of the crystal you're currently holding. You float back down to the deck, and what are you doing with the crystal?
Who is here? Draven's backpack is not here. You said this thing is the size of my head.
Does Kikiro have a bag or anything?
I mean, I have a bag.
You have a bag.
I do have a bag, and it's light,
It's light, it's just big.
right? I'll put it in my bag. I stole it. I'll keep it.
So we're going to say that you're barely able to fit this in your back. Like, it just gets in there. The straps to hold the flap in place is, like, bulging. You can see it kind of a little bit peeking out from the thing. But it's in there.
Does Kikiro have a bigger bag than I do?
I mean, yeah, Kikoro's...
I have a normal size bag.
Okay, I will put it in Kikiro's bag.
Okay, so after putting it in your bag, you you kind of creep out from behind the cannon and head towards Kikiro. I would like another stealth check, please.
Okay. Stealth.
Come on.
12.
12.
Support hero points if you support hero points.
Do you want me to use another hero point?
I don't want to get caught.
Same
do you?
stipulation applies.
No.
You have to roll better.
Yeah.
You've got
Only if
3
you
of them
roll
right
better.
All right. Well, let's see if
This
I
is
roll
huge.
better. 18.
That's better.
That is better.
18's better. And probably a good thing to use that hero point because somebody definitely would have seen you walking back. By this time, the fight is starting to get broken up. You make it back towards Kikiro just about the same time that somebody is beginning to break up the fight. You see a lot of those halberds and spears all mixed in among the sailors fighting. But you do manage to get over to Kikiro. You fly up behind them, lift open their bag, and push the crystal down into it.
And I will whisper into Kikiro's ear, we got about 10 minutes. Let's get off of this ship.
Heard.
And I
Well, not that
slip
short.
back into my
Leash harness?
my leash harness.
Yeah.
Nobody
it.
knows.
Love it. Looks like Delioth and Ashley-Ann have also redeemed hero points, bringing your total back to 4. And I think that's an excellent place to pause and take a break.
Right.
Well done, everybody. You managed to steal a crystal. Malachi got caught, but only got escorted off the ship, so that's a good thing. The tour is long since over, and with all that chaos, you can definitely tell the lieutenant's going to be wanting to go on to the next location soon. So we will be picking up with all that when we return here on the Æther-Tech Wars. So stay tuned, everybody. We will be back in about 10, and it's going to get interesting. See you soon. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, our heroes were down at the docks of the Gnomon capital of Gnomengard. They have been checking out the city's naval fleet. They ended up on one of those boats. They paid off the local the local thieves a little bit of money to create a diversion, which turned into a gigantic brawl. And Malachi attempted to get on the ship of Zormunder, but unfortunately was spotted and escorted off. So we got Aeden, Kikiro, and Draven on board one of those ships currently. The fight is beginning to break up, as I said. Aeden has stolen one of the magical crystals that power the cannons on top of the ship, and currently it is in Kikiro's backpack. At this time, the lieutenant is turning back from the captain and from the rest of the crew, and looks over your group, and he says, "Now, come on. This has been quite interesting, I'm sure, but we are running late, and we need to get to the Institute of Higher Learning as quickly as we possibly can. So everyone, single file, let's get off the ship. Where did the other one go? The one who smokes?"
Oh, the one that was sick. Did you
Yeah,
not see
that's
them
right.
throwing up?
Yes. He was sick and ran off the ship. Wow. Where did he
Yes.
get to? We'd better go find him.
No, I mean, he ended up at the conclave, correct? That's where you sent him.
No, I didn't send him anywhere. He just told him to get off the ship. Did
Oh.
you say he went back to the conclave?
Well, is that not where you told him to go? He was throwing up and everything all over the place.
You see a little bit of
So if we are now time restrained, we need to go.
what do I want you to do? Yeah, I guess this would be a deception check. Oh no.
Look at me. That sounds about right. It's an 8.
Oof.
I mean-
owie.
I mean, Draven was being as honest as he could. He said to
That's
go.
true.
We need to
Did-
we need to go find that. We need to go find him. No, if we can't have anybody lagging behind or walking off on their own. I thought they were just going to go throw up down on the docks. You keep up with me. We need to go find him quickly.
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
He's shooing the 3 of you down off of the gangplank and down onto the docks. Malachi, you are on the dock, basically 2 piers down. You had just got escorted off of the ship by the Heffalump, and are currently down there watching more of their crew disembark.
All right.
What do you
So, are there any like portholes or like ropes that Maiko might be able to climb on to get back on the ship?
Certainly there are. There are so there are mooring lines. These are lines that are connected to the ship and then connected to specifically made posts to keep the boat from like drifting off and stuff. So there are several of those attached to from the ship to the dock.
So then when I get to the bottom of the gangplank, I want to like step off to the side and crouch down like I'm going to tie my shoe. My shoe's been untied. I need to tie my shoe.
I do want to get one little minor clarification though too. Are these more lines? Are they like? Would a fox creature be able to climb up them and reasonably not be seen? Or is it going to be blatantly obvious that something is climbing up there?
Well, I mean, you are a black-furred fox running. So the mooring lines are typically are about like this big around. They're fairly large because they have to be strong enough to hold a boat in place. Now, usually there's like 4 to 6 lines off of a ship to hold it in place in different places around the ship and around the dock. Could a fox nimbly make their way up one? Theoretically, yes. It would be an acrobatics check to see if you can run up the rope without falling off. Now, whether or not you're seen, well, it depends on a couple different things. Number 1, whether or not there's anybody around who can see you. Number 2, whether or not they are paying attention.
Okay, fair enough.
So I will crouch down to tie my shoe with my back to the water, so towards the ship. And then I'll tap on my shoulder and maybe whisper when Maiko starts to come out. If I see her little head, like glance over my shoulder, if I see her little head, I'll be like, Maiko, it ain't looking so good, so it's up to you if you want to still go through with it.
And we haven't seen Zormunder at all, have we?
You have not.
No, we saw a Heffalump and a catfolk.
But we do know that their boat is approaching.
This is the boat.
Is
Yeah,
it
this
the
is the
boat?
boat.
Yeah.
This is the boat.
This is the boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is their boat.
So Zormunder might be somewhere on the ship.
I mean, I'll still go. I'll still do it. I'll still do it. I'm small enough. I think I can do this.
All right. So I hear you chirping affirmatively,
Yes.
very quietly, and then I say, "Well, when it comes to me, I think I'm compromised, so I'm gonna skedaddle. But meet back up with us. You know how to get to the conclave."
Affirmative chirps. Cause,
Okay.
Yeah.
Godspeed, my friend.
God, this is gonna be so much easier in a couple levels.
This is gonna suck right now. But yeah, once I feel the weight of Maiko leave the backpack, I get up and I just, fix my backpack and I walk away. Join the crowd.
So give me a deception check, Malachi. Let's see how well you did this. And Maiko, give me a stealth check.
Nice. 23.
I love having talented friends.
With your 23, yeah, and without issue, you crouch down. You're pretending to tie your shoe. You feel you have this little whispered conversation to Maiko. You feel a little bit of a weight decrease, and something furry slide down your back and land on the ground or on the dock behind you. Maiko then crouches down. Scurries over to one of the posts where the rope is tied on, and crouches down, keeping in the shadow as much as she can, while Malachi gets up, and begins walking away from the dock. Malachi, as you're walking down the dock, you would see the lieutenant, Twist Pockets, calling out, "Now keep up! Hurry up! Come on, we gotta go find that friend of yours. Where do you, if he went back to the conclave, the conclave is this way over here," and points off towards the northeast. Come on, stay clear of that fight over there. It looks like the guards are breaking everything up still, but I don't want any of you getting lost. So you would see that, Malachi.
Okay, so I want to speed walk to just like an alley or somewhere in front of them, so that I can then drop the disguise and pretend like I was just barfing in this alley, the whole time.
Okay.
I'm speed walking.
While that's going on, Draven, Kikiro, Aeden, the three of you are currently being led by the lieutenant. Are you doing anything to assist in finding Malachi or keeping the lieutenant distracted and all of that?
Yes, I am constantly like, oh my goodness, you are doing such a good job at leading. I can't believe this. Yes, we should be moving in this direction. I thought that the conclave was in that one, but you knew instantly that it was that direction. My goodness, you know this town and directions so well. I am so impressed. Like, stroking this man's ego as best I can.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a diplomacy check for you. Aeden, Kikiro, the two of you doing anything to assist? Guess not.
I don't really know what
mentioning that Malachi could very well have gotten caught at a bar somewhere on the way home, but I don't know how much that would actually help.
I mean, if you're just you're helping the distraction, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be saying it to him, like trying to just put his mind off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, oh, we should look for bars too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I did like the blue heron.
Give me a deception check. If you're able to hit that 15, Draven will get a +1.
I believe. Nope.
No.
It's fine. I rolled an 18 on my diplomacy
Mhm.
check anyways, so.
Okay. Well, you rolled an 18 on your diplomacy check. So you talking to the guy, Kikiro chiming in every so often. The two of you are keeping that focus off in one direction, which is Malachi. You're seeing this and you're hearing the conversation as you're speed walking up towards them. And this allows you to like sneak by, while all of their attention is more towards like, oh, there are bars around here. Is there alleyways? Where could this idiot have gone to? Give me a stealth check real quick, Malachi.
23.
Nice.
Even with the penalty.
Without issue, you're able to scooch by them, find one of the few alleyways that are up ahead on the path that they're clearly taking. You sneak into one of those alleyways, you get down behind some trash cans, remove your hat of disguise, and then you kind of come stumbling out from the alleyway, clutching your stomach.
Yeah, let me put some water in my hair so I look like I'm really sweaty.
Absolutely. Now, while that's all going on, Malachi, you stumble out. Your hair is all sweaty. You're clutching your stomach, pretending that you just got done being sick. Twist Pockets would see you up ahead as you're coming out of the alleyway. Oh, look, there he is. Come on, quick. Let's go grab him.
Yeah.
Maiko, you are hiding by the ship. You are crouched down near one of those mooring lines, waiting for that right moment to sneak on board. You rolled very high on stealth, and so you watch as several people, several of the crew members walk down the gangplank, making their way onto the docks. You see like maybe about half a dozen individuals making their way down. And after about 5 minutes or so of this, eventually the area becomes empty. You figure it's this moment or none. So you jump up onto the rope. You kind of have to scurry and climb your way up onto the hitching post there. Give me an acrobatics check to climb up a rope.
18.
18. Oof. You scramble up onto
I mean,
that
if
rope.
that's an oof, I can always use my hero coin. Or my coin, the random Rhapsody coin that I got.
Go for it.
Yeah, why not? Oof.
Well, it's gonna be
Kept
18.
18. Yep.
Maybe that was a good oof.
No, unfortunately it was not. You get up on the rope, you're kind of creeping your way along it, when suddenly you slip and end up in the water. Splash.
Oof. Oof is right.
Big oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thick line, but still, it's not that big from a perspective of a fox trying to narrowly tightrope walk it. With that 18, you slip and you fall in the water. You are now in the ocean, kicking your feet as much as you can. You're trying to tread water. I need an athletics check from you.
Oof.
You're just gonna drown right now.
Can I use a hero coin?
Please.
Sure. Only if you roll better.
I mean, I rolled a 2, so hopefully.
Could still be worse.
No, 21. I'll take a 21.
Yeah.
Okay, using one hero point. That's going to give you a 21, which is a lot better. The water is kind of dangerous. It's like I said, it's literally just a sharp cut of the land and then the water underneath it. So there is no bottom, not really. And the waters that churn around this area of the city are treacherous. You keep getting sucked down under the water. You hold your breath, and you manage to kick your way up again to the surface. You're coughing and sputtering as you're treading water. Eventually, you're able to get towards one edge of the pier and hold on to one of those braces. You scan about, looking for some way to climb up onto the dock again. Give me a perception check.
Ugh. 12.
You can't see any way up. There are no ropes, there's no ladders, there's nothing. There's just the open ocean. And these long, God, I don't even know what to call it. Well, the long posts on the sides of the dock that hold the thing up.
Mm-hmm.
You're currently clinging to one of those. You can't find any way up again. And you're coughing and sputtering in your little fox form. What do you do?
Oh crap. I mean, can I look around again and like see if I see anything?
So you're on a post that
You're currently clinging to a wooden post.
Oh yeah, I'm clinging to a wooden post.
can claw your way up it.
Yeah, can I claw my way up? Would that be an athletic?
In your fox form, you can't get your paws around the thing. It's like it's quite a like. Imagine something thicker than a electrical pole.
Okay, well then, I'll just shift into humanoid form and climb my way up. I mean, I gotta save myself.
Okay. You begin shifting your form once again, transforming back into your humanoid appearance. This makes you much larger, and you're able to grasp your arms around that pier post. If you're wanting to try to climb up it, you're going to need to make another athletics check.
How's it 21?
Just barely enough.
I mean, just barely is still enough.
Mm-hmm. You wrap your arms around this post, wrapping your legs around as well, and begin shimmying your way up. It's difficult work. The water is cold, and it saps some of your strength, and you don't have much of it to begin with. It's difficult work. The clothes on your back cling to you, making it even more of a challenge as you climb hand over hand up this post, reaching towards the dock. You get your hand up onto the wooden plank above it. You begin lifting, and then you feel something grasp your wrists. You feel someone pulling you up, and in that moment of panic, it's like, do you let them, or do you fight back? What do you do, Malachi or Maiko?
You're about to go to jail.
I think I would like kind of fight back at first, but then accept help because it's either get help up or fall back down in the ocean.
You are pulled back up onto the dock, kind of fighting a little bit, but not giving in nearly as much resistance as you could. And you see that it's like 3 or 4 sailors pulling you up. There's a human, there is a dwarf, there is a half-orc, and there is that same Hephalum that had caught Malachi previously. That one's got its hand around your wrist and lifts you bodily up into the air, supported by the 3 other crew members. The Hephalum looks at you with a tiny beady black eye, and it says, seeing all sorts of strange things around the docks today. What is your story, Kitsune? I mean, what's your story? Are you, trying to get on my ship as well?
So I'm kind of on my hands and knees, like kind of coughing a little bit, like, and I kind of sit up a little, just still coughing, like, you know, put my hand up, like, you know, just a second. And then, no, I'm your ship. No, I'm not trying to get on your ship. I just, you know, I kind of just don't really pay attention to where I'm going sometimes, and I just, yeah, I thought there were stairs there for some reason, and nope, there definitely were not. And I just took a nice little dunk. Thanks for the help, though. But I gotta get going, and I'm just gonna like kind of stand up and start walking off.
Well, give me a deception check first.
Come on.
Go!
I knew it would be bad. I can sense it.
I'm gonna use a hero point. I'm sorry, guys. That's that one. I'm using a hero point.
Gotta roll better.
Okay, bringing your hero point net down to 2.
23 is much better.
The Heffalum looks at you somewhat dubiously, but eventually says, perhaps you should pay better attention to where you're going.
Yeah, I definitely, and I kind of just like kind of look off, like something catches my, as if something caught my attention. Yeah, I definitely need to pay better attention.
Looks like Red Dragon Girl, or River Dragon, just redeemed a hero point, bringing you up to 3.
Can never be below 3.
No.
Hey, look, I used 2 of them, so you know.
Like, I feel bad.
I do.
That's fair.
Just gotta roll better.
You're doing good. We knew this was gonna happen.
I did also have to use 2 to steal crystals.
Y'all told me Maiko would be fine by herself.
And
Okay.
Maiko's fine. Do you see Maiko not fine? No,
Maiko's-
they're fine.
Sure, Maiko's fine. Everything's fine.
The Heffalum and the sailors step back and allow you to stand up and kind of cough and sputter, and you say you
And shake off some water a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I like full on like a dog, just shake water out of my fur.
Absolutely. The Heffalum says,
Definitely not trying to, avoid them with the water, by the way.
Oh, sure. No, they definitely get sprayed by water. The Heffalum looks irritated, and he says, you better make your way off this dock before you get into any more trouble.
Yes, sure. Absolutely. And I book it.
Yeah. You book it, running away as quickly as you can. In the distance, Malachi, Draven, Kikiro, and Aeden are all kind of grouped together. You can see them in the far distance. Twist Pockets is currently berating Malachi. I can't believe you threw up on the ship. I mean, that is so absolutely unprofessional. It's a good thing you didn't get too far, though.
Hydrophobic, you bastard. Have some respect. I can't help it.
Hydrophobic? That means what? That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it causes rumbles in my tummy. When I see water, it just makes me sick to my stomach. But I was trying. I was trying to overcome my fear. For you.
I think Draven mishearing is going to be
Respect
like, no, Lieutenant, I thought this was an open-minded place. I can't believe you would be so phobic in this place.
Why are you being so phobic? You're acting mad federal right now.
Look, I'm about to cancel the rest of this tour. This
What?
is
Oh, no.
just...
All right.
No, don't cancel. If we need to reschedule, we absolutely can. But don't cancel.
Sir, I really am sorry, but I couldn't help my stomach, alright? I will say that. It was uncontrollable, and I am really sorry if it caused any disrespect to you or your culture.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. It's bad. I don't have good diplomacy.
The gnome just shakes his head and says, Jesus, Look, we're already late. We need to hurry up and get out of here. We have 2 more spots left on this tour, and if this is how it's going to be, I'm going to have to report this all to my superiors. This has just been absolutely ridiculous.
I'm just imagining him writing the report and one of them threw up.
Mm-hmm.
The audacity to throw up.
How dare that person throw up?
Does nobody in this country barf? Like, what are you talking about? They're gonna be like, bro, you look stupid. But anyway, I just go, alright, I'm sorry for having delayed us. Lead the way.
Fine, let's get going. Come on. We need to hurry up. We're gonna be moving fast, so follow me. Come on.
Right.
Maiko, you see them at a distance being led away. What are you doing?
So, I am going to follow. I'm gonna like try to catch up to him a bit, but not like fully catch up. I also want to see if I can find somewhere that I can like real quickly shift back into fox form because I want to maintain my, my
Anonymity.
Yeah, exactly. So, as soon as I can like easily like get close enough to them that I can get into fox form and then run up into the backpack.
Okay. So I think this is going to be a stealth check from you. Give me a stealth check.
All right, come on, let's be good. 24.
24. It takes you a little bit. You have to basically hang back and let yourself be absorbed into the crowd, moving away from the dock as Lieutenant Twist Pockets leads your 4 friends away from the dock and to the northwest. He leads your group to one of the main roads leading past the harbor, up along the north, heading towards the Institute of Higher Learning. And Maiko, what you end up having to do is you basically just have to wait until the group is away from the harbor ward. You have to sneak away. Once they get onto the main road, there's a little bit of foot traffic going on here. A lot of people out and about today. And the lieutenant is having to kind of like weave the rest of your friends through this crowd, trying to maintain a specific speed and failing rather easily on that. At the end, you do spot a moment where a large group of people are just blocking the road and slowing everything down. And you go scurrying over to one of the nearby alleyways, find a quiet shaded area, and then slip back down into your fox form. Give me one more stealth check.
Ooh, nice. 23.
Nice.
Without issue. You are now that you're in your fox form, you're kind of slipping around people's ankles, hurrying up towards your friends. Draven and Kikiro and Aeden and Malachi, the four of you, are walking along with Twist Pockets. Draven, you've just kept on with the chatter, still keeping him distracted. And suddenly you feel a little bit of weight start clawing its way up your pants leg and into the backpack.
He doesn't even realize it's Maiko. He thinks it's fucking Malachi just trying to be flirty and funny. He doesn't even pay attention. By this point, he's like, oh, whatever. It's just Malachi.
And then there's like plumes of smoke right next to you, and you turn and you're like, wait a minute.
Oh.
If you're there and I'm here, then who's getting in the backpack?
And then when Maiko gets in the backpack, she's gonna scribble out a note. Sorry, I failed miserably.
Oh, by the way, the back of your pants legs and now your backpack are kind of damp.
No!
Draven peed himself.
No, that never happened. You know
Like
why? We're gonna prestidigitate myself clean. I don't know. We are.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna reach out and tap Draven. Wait, does Draven have the backpack now?
I think it sounds like we implied that I gave it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like it.
All right. So then, I'm gonna kind of tap at Draven and hand him the note, and hopefully he can read it.
It's two paw prints and a sad face.
If Malachi sees it, he goes, "Is that good?"
And I mean, in my mind, I actually just wrote out.
Yeah.
You wrote, I apologize. My deepest condolences, for I believe I have failed to know.
For who it may concern.
For whom it may concern.
Yeah. Maiko putting
My
in a
dearest
lot of
compatriots.
intent in a couple paw prints.
Yeah.
And somehow
Malachi
you just
just
know
kicks
what
her.
it means.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you made it past the dock, and you know that Zormunder is here in the city.
That's true.
He was way faster than we expected, right?
I mean, yes and no. I think with knowing that they have so much tech on their side, it's not super surprising, but
Yeah, maybe
faster
the
than
ship-
normal ship.
Maybe the ship travels extra fast.
Yeah.
If you want, I can let anybody who has any lore knowledge for like anything nautical, like if anybody has any lore skills that kind of go along that route, I'd let you do a check to figure that out.
I've got
Nature,
the
maybe?
engineering.
I've got ghosts.
Ghosts.
Is it a ghost ship?
I guess why don't you try a nature check, Kikiro? This is going to be kind of a hard roll because this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but I'll let you give it a try.
Terrain wouldn't work, would it, by chance?
Nature is usually what you use for like piloting boats.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm letting you roll this one.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that with your 18, while you're not sure exactly how long it would take to sail from the barony of Coltras to here, because you're not like 100% sure on where it is in relation to one another, but you've like in the time that ship left till now, it's been about, give or take, about 8 to 9 days, and that's definitely a shorter time period than you would have expected. Like, you're fairly certain that they got here faster than they should have. I'll give you at least that much, that you are definitely sure of that.
Shucks. We get it. They're technologically superior to everyone else.
You are seeing a little bit of signs that they are technologically advanced somehow. There seem to be grafting magic and technology together in some way. You're not entirely sure how, but it definitely seems like that's the case. which is probably a good place to end things for this evening. Since it is after 9 o'clock, I know some of you have a hard time out here. So why don't we go ahead and stop for now. We will pick up in 2 weeks with the group going to the Institute of Higher Learning. See what they can uncover there about this mysterious new technology this country has. Should be some fun.
All right.
Well done, everybody. Lots more role playing in a section that I thought we were going to go through pretty quick, but that's okay. Why don't you go ahead and give yourselves 100 experience points?
Yay.
Yay! Thank you. Sorry for the distraction.
No, that's great. I love it. Hey, it just saves me
That's what
time.
we got next prep.
Yeah, I've got next week's session already prepped up and ready to go.
Like that always happens to me as a DM.
Yeah. No, but that's perfect. You got more information than I was expecting, which is always good. You know for a fact Zormunder's here, and you tried to get on his ship, but unfortunately weren't able to do it. So that's definitely worth 100 experience.
Yeah,
points.
Maiko just wanted to take a swim instead.
Yeah.
And almost drown in the treacherous water. I was like, are you about to
A
drown?
mysterious fifth player just shows up. Hey guys, I'm the new Maiko.
I'm sorry to tell you, but your pet fox drowned in the ocean. It's like, what a way to go.
What a
Oh lordy.
Hey, you know what? All I can say is yay for keeping incognito, and I had that
Yeah.
to my advantage at least.
Good
Nobody's seen human form Maiko, humanoid form Maiko.
Hell yes.
Well, no, they did. They saw you when they pulled you
Yeah,
out
just
of the
now.
water. Yes.
I know, but that was the first time. They
Oh,
did.
yeah.
They don't.
Yes.
They don't know that
Context.
person is connected with the rest of the conclave members.
Yes, that's correct. Absolutely.
That's more what I meant.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're definitely right there.
Nice.
Anyway, well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our heroes discover at the Institute of Higher Learning. They already know that something's going on here in the city of Nomengrad. It's gonna get dangerous pretty damn quickly. We'll find out what they uncover here in 2 weeks. I can't wait. Well, as always, I like to go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. Maiko, you're the one who did the recap. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'm Maiko. You can find me here every other Monday on Æther-Tech Wars, playing Maiko, obviously. Getting better at my stealthing and, not getting caught and getting in too much trouble. Let's see how long I can keep that up for. I'm also here every other Wednesday on the opposite Wednesdays playing Veed on Curse of Strahd. So yeah, there's lots of stuff going on there. I can't think of what's going on right now, but there's stuff going on there we got to figure out. What?
It's top secret.
It's top secret.
You have to tune in.
Yeah, go watch last episode and you'll learn all about it. And then, yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, I'm on some of the socials as @RiverDragon82. That's River with a Y. And yeah, that's about it.
Right on. Malachi, you're next.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brie, like the cheese. You can find me here every other Monday, playing Malachi Sykes, the gunslinging cat. And you can also find me on Instagram @PinkChicGeekArt, although I haven't uploaded anything in a while. And this week, I want to plug, I've been watching the TV show Severance, and it's really good.
Enough. Haven't seen that one yet.
It's very good. Highly recommend.
Kikiro, you're up next.
Right on. I'm Delioth. You can find me here playing Kikiro every other Monday on the Æther-Tech Wars. You can also find me at Twitter at Delioth Infinite. I have nothing to plug.
Fair enough. Aeden, you're next.
Hello, I am Dyto. You can find me here on Thursday for Tyranny of Dragons, where we do actually fight dragons at level 1.
Nice.
That was scary. I think we all pissed our pants just a little bit.
You beat it though, right? It's
Well-
great. You're way more powerful than the
We're
dragon.
so much more powerful. We beat a dragon at level 1.
It's true.
Campaign over. No. And then also every alternating Wednesday where I am also in Curse of Strahd with Brandie.
Always fun. Okay. Draven, you're next.
Hey, I'm John. I play Draven, your lovable lug here for the Æther-Tech Wars. You can find me here every other Monday and Wednesday. On Wednesdays, I play Salem in the Maginite campaign, which things are getting a little heated, getting a little questionable. There's a lot of things going on right now. 10 out of 10 would recommend watching. But otherwise, you can find me at johnport.bluesky.social.
Heck yeah. And as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me right here every Monday and Wednesday running crazy games for crazy people, having a blast doing it. It's always fun. You can always find me on my socials as @ScruffyWanderer. You can also occasionally find me in other places. This Saturday, actually, the 22nd, I am going to be over on All on the Table TTRPG. I'm playing my favorite catfolk rogue, Tybal Toldrum. We're playing Pathfinder 2e as well. That campaign is almost over. We've only got a couple episodes left. And I think we're about to kill a god. We've killed a few so far, so you never know. It's going to be a blast. So come check that out over on Twitch, All on the Table TTRPG. That's going to be this Saturday the 22nd at 3:30 Central. Definitely come by and hang out with us. And so, on behalf of everyone here in the Æther-Tech Wars and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say, thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, remember, fight the machine. And good night.
Night.
I
Good night.